8 assists a game, and Garrett will average 7 assists a game. There is Moffitt up front, Hodge, and Timmy Long. They're going to go with Brown today, Jamal Brown at a guard. They're going to go with the 3 guards to try to maybe even push it up a little quicker than that. And the guy you want to watch for here, Jason Owen. He is really a big-time player, and I guess when I say big-time, I guess I really mean big, because Jason's 6'4" and every bit of about 240 pounds.
Well, we're going to see 2 really skilled athletic teams here going after it. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see this game. We saw a little bit different game the first 2 from what we anticipate this game to be like. And I'll tell you what, keep your eyes peeled on the court, because you'll miss something.
If you turn away, don't you dare run and go get a soft drink now. Hey, keys to the game for the Bosse Bulldogs. They've got to get it inside. They've got to work Myron Hodge into things today.
Well, sometimes you have a tendency in a track meet type game, and I don't mean that that's the way it's going to be played, but when you get up and down the floor a little bit quicker, sometimes you have a tendency to shoot it instead of get the ball inside.
And they also need to get it to Timmy Long. He is an outstanding three-point shooter, leads them with 16.5 points a game, and although shoots at 33% from three-point range, he's starting to pick it up a little bit.
I think that Timmy Long has been one of the most underrated guards in the area for the last few years, and I know going up against Bosse, the guy that always worried me was Timmy Long, because he made things happen for the offense.
And on the other side, Christian County, they've got to take care of the basketball today. You know, their kids certainly not used to playing in an atmosphere like this, playing at the stadium. They've got to, as maybe Memorial and North Posey both were a little, maybe a little shaky at the beginning of their games.
Well, Coach Fraser, 2 things about Coach Fraser. 1, he wants to beat his buddies, no matter what anybody says. And 2, he's not too short on talent over on his end of the court.
Let us recap you if you're just joining us. Maybe you're just wanting to tune in for Game 3. We'll tell you what's happened in the first 2 games. This morning's game, first of all, Pike Central raced to a 13-point halftime lead, and they won it by 13, 72-59. Adam Seitz with 28 points led the way for the Chargers, for the undefeated Chargers. They're 3rd ranked in the state. Then in Game 2, it was a wild one. Mount Vernon, Illinois dominated the first half. The Evansville Memorial Tigers came back and dominated in the second half. And in the end, Mount Vernon saw a 16-point lead evaporate, but they hung on to win it 71-65.
Dean, I'll tell you, you guys were talking about our great production crew, and I'll tell you, you know, a lot of times you only see the pretty faces of Mike Blake and Dean Webster, but the real people are the folks behind the camera. So if you're listening, folks, you're the real reason this thing works.
I'm telling you what, you're really pretty. You are right there. We are underway, and Christian County with Josh Davey running the show out front, and Davey is a very quick 5'8", 140-pounder. Inside, getting the deuce is Adam Pepper. Pepper had a brother that played the last couple of years at Christian County. C.J. Pepper, 2nd all-time leading scorer. And we know C.J. can play, and we've heard this Adam, his brother, can also shoot it up pretty good, too. Inside to Moffitt. Baseline jumper, and Bosse is on the board.
Bosse's spacing on this particular time down the court was very good. Kind of a slower tempo than we expected to start out, but great spacing by the Bulldogs.
Davey against Bosse. Yeah, Davey is just really explosive.
And there's just going to be, here we go with the kick out.
And Myron Hodge is right there for the tip in.
There's not going to be a lot of blockouts because you can't get down the court quick enough on the transitions. But boy, Hodge, boy, everybody's salivating over that guy for his college career.
Just a sophomore, rated one of the top 15 sophomores in the nation. He comes in, he's 6'6", 6'7", about 185 pounds, so you know he's going to fill out.
You forget that he's so young, you know, that he's, you say, well, I don't know if he shoots that well from out, but boy, he's so fluid.
He's going to be a great player down here.
Owens is a big guy, moves it in.
I question that 220 weight chart there on him.
Yeah.
He's the most agile 220 I've seen without wearing shoulder pads.
He gets and moves pretty well.
That is Brown. We're tied again at 6 apiece.
Full court pressure by the Bulldogs, trying to spread things early.
And that is one of the things that we had on our keys to the game. We didn't really talk about it much, that this guy right here has got to control the tempo. That's Josh Davies. He gets it inside to Pepper, and if Pepper and Owens are allowed to shoot layups all day, Bosse could be in real trouble.
Well, when you spread the floor like that defensively, you give up penetration, and we saw that right there.
Michael Derritt misses. Moffitt tried to get it, but down comes Owens, and man, I tell you what, Jason can move it. Davies saves it, and Pepper doesn't get it to go in, but inside, well, I'm telling you, he is a load inside for him.
He's done a nice job so far. He's quick with his hands and his feet as well, despite his size.
6'4", and as Kenny said, maybe we'll question that 220. He might be more like 238, 9.
And a half.
Baseline jumper, no good. Davey is out in front of the crowd, and Darris tries to run it down, and then he runs over Josh Davey.
Well, you know, in the first two games, we saw transition basketball, especially by Pike Central and Memorial in the second game, but it's really been transition basketball so far in this game.
And we have got a timeout. Bosse, they don't like what's going on, and right away, Gene Ballard is calling and saying, hey, I want to talk about this.
He told us that, he said, if we're out of sync, the first guy I go to, and he knows it, is Michael Derritt. He says, I chew him out. He's my #1 suspect. And he says, Michael knows it. Everybody knows it. He said, just like in the Harrison game, which we saw, guys, Derritt had to sit down sometimes. He got into some foul trouble. Also, but the Dogs have a lot off the bench. But look for Michael Derritt to get an earful maybe and say, hey, let's turn this thing around.
He's the point guard, right? He's supposed to.
He's the commander on the floor, and when you're the commander, you got to take care of things. But back to that transition, it's not just the transition, but it's one pass into the basket. It's not 1, 2, 3 passes. It's one pass and down. They're throwing the home run passes.
And here we go, Christian County off the inbounds play. They don't get it as Michael Busse checks in. Timmy Long, man, the kid can flat shoot the ball from the outside. And Michael Derritt, who will run things, and a lot of colleges giving this young man a long look too. Inside is Moffitt. Moffitt might be the stronger of the two inside players. Down the gut is Davey, and Owen hits another lay-in.
I can see why he's got such great assist ratio. I mean, it's outstanding how he gets the ball down the court.
Derritt takes it strong to the hole.
Boys, we're seeing some real athletes.
I'm telling you what, this game is played up around the rim. You better have game to be in this one.
Look how smooth he is in the open court.
Picks it up, gives it to Owen. Nice little head and fake, but Keith Bagby says, I've got to travel.
I said to Brad Fraser last night, I said, do you really want to run with Bosse? He says, oh, yeah. He said, but we want to run with a purpose. He said, we want to, I think both teams, they want to run, discipline if there is such a thing, and shoot good shots. But they don't want to get in a half court.
There's definitely discipline in transition. I mean, USI is a great example of that. You have to have a purpose with what you're doing, and both teams here are doing that. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of turnover situations. Speaking of a turnover, we've got one right there.
That's DeMarcus Bateman, and Bateman takes it right in. And here come the Bulldogs right back, 2-on-1, and Hodge pulls it up from 3 and lets it fly. It will not take long for a Bulldog to come in, and that will probably be Adam Williams. That is. He's over there checking in. Jason Owen and Moffitt trying to guard him, and he's going to get a little help. The baseline is Bateman, and foul inside and down hard. I think that's Pepper that went down hard.
The Colonels are working hard, guys.
Both teams are really working hard, but I think what we might have a problem with here early on, and the coaches I'm sure are going to address it, is that they're relying on their athletic ability. The problem is the other team's just as athletic as they are, and they're going to have to start doing things like block out and shot fake and things that they normally wouldn't have to do because they could get away with it with the great athletic ability. Their opponents got that same type of ability both ways, so they're going to have to be careful on that play.
Here comes Derrick flying down the lane, and nobody picks him up.
Gene Ballard says he's the fastest kid he's ever seen off the dribbling a basketball. There's nobody faster in high school he's seen. He really moves.
Now, Davey might be up there with him for what we've seen so far.
Owen's going to get called for the foul or for the travel again. He shuffled his feet. And we've got our first time out. 14-10 right now. Christian County leads it. They'll be back with more of the NBC 14 Hoops Classic right after this.
The Charity Countdown Challenge is going on now at Riverbend Chevy
and Temple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury to see who can sell the most vehicles before the ball drops.
And to see who can donate the most to the Tri-State Food Bank. The big green dot means extra cash savings at Riverbend.
Temple Wolf has special year-end pricing on every new model in stock.
Who will win the Countdown Cup?
Who can offer you the best savings?
Riverbend Chevy.
No, it's Temple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Highway 41 North in Henderson.
It's over. She's gone. 3 weeks and she dumps me like a bad habit. I'm really hurting. Thanks for being there for me, man. Why me? Like, she can do better. I'm a happening guy. I got a part-time job. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm a loser.
The Frisco Burger, a juicy burger with bacon, melting cheese, and tomato on crunchy grilled San Francisco-style sourdough bread. Only at Hardee's.
So's that girlfriend of yours?
Explosive with the ball. Is that how you describe this?
I would say more than not explosive, just kind of like a blur. He just goes by everybody.
All right. Back to action. Darrett to Hodge, and Myron gets hit on the floor by Owen. He tried to throw it up there and tried to get the basket too.
Because of his size, guys. Look at his future 5 years from now, or 2 or 3 years from now. What do you see him? Is he going to have to bulk up? Is he going to have to move out?
Well, I think there's two things on Hodge. He's going to have to get stronger, like you said, and he's going to have to learn to play the game in a more disciplined way. And not that he's not a disciplined player, but because of his athletic ability, he kind of gets away with things that you're not going to get away with on the next level. But I can tell you, in talking to college coaches, this guy is high on everybody's list. It's just a matter of how good he wants to become. And if you're going to be good, you got to work hard. You got to be disciplined, and you got to sacrifice a little bit if you're going to get there.
Christian County comes in with a record of 6-3. Bosse 3-2. They've had a rough schedule early on. They lost to Jeffersonville and Henderson County.
Bosse always plays a good schedule early, and you know, we always kind of hoped we'd play Bosse early in the year when I was at Jasper because they seemed to struggle a little bit early on, but we'd always hit them in the second half when they were at their prime, and I'll tell you what, they were tough to handle.
Michael Darrett, very quick with the basketball. Side to Moffitt again, and turn around no good, and the tip in, and Bosse played that one up around the rim that time, and Hodge and Williams up there.
They had a nice little half-court set. They kind of isolated things on the left side and worked it into the post, and what they have that a lot of the other teams don't have, springboard backside rebounding.
Bosse knocks it away, but here come the Colonels. And inside it's Pepper again, and boy, I tell you what, that's a nice decision to have to make when you're on the break. Do you want to give it to Pepper or Owen? Because both of them can flat get it in the hole.
And Bosse cannot continue to play the full court pressure if they're not going to transfer from the front of the court to the back of the court. This 3-on-1s, 3-on-2s, it's not going to happen.
And that is quite a play by Michael Darrett, but a little bit out of control, maybe. I tell you, when you move that fast, it's kind of hard to tell.
Now, the officials, hey, they've got their work cut out. We've got two good officials out there, fortunately, because what don't we have good at this Classic today? I mean, it's been exceptional, but it's going to be tough to officiate this game because she's got some quickness and speed and explosiveness everywhere.
Keith Bagby, we talked to him in the last game. Jenny Whitmer did before he went and got dressed for the game. He's excited. Even the officials like to play in front of big crowds and here at the stadium. And Dave Sinek from the baseline. That was number 31. That's Bussell.
Coach Fraser said he thought his guys might come in a little intimidated by the big surroundings. I don't see it. I just see a very relaxed Christian County team.
And the lay-in, and now it's 19-14.
These kids a couple years ago beat University Heights, which won the state as a Class A team, and they beat a team that was ranked number 1 or number 7 in USA Today. So they play some good competition.
Long is going to get out on the break. And now it's 19-16, and Brad Fraser wants to take 20 seconds and talk to his team. Not happy with what's happened here in the last couple of minutes. And Kenny, just as you said, you know, the Bulldogs going to have to start getting back on defense in the transition. All of a sudden they do, and then they start getting the breaks going their way.
Well, Tim Long, you know, really started to see some tendencies by the Christian County ball handlers. They're kind of leaving the ball out a little bit as they come down the floor. He saw that, and he went after it, was able to strip it away, and they got an easy layup. But I'm still concerned with they're putting a tremendous amount of pressure up front on their full court press. But when you do that, you have to be sprinting back as the ball gets ahead of you. And Bosse hasn't quite done that. And I know what they're used to in the past. They've been able to go up and just block the shots. But Christian County counters with the same skill and athletic ability, and they're getting the 3-on-1s, 3-on-2s, and hurting them.
Guys, just checking in, Antonio Willett, number 13 for Bosse. I think he could start for maybe every other team in southwestern Indiana. This kid is one terrific backup point guard.
I'd take their second 5. Probably do some damage with them.
Garrett sits down, takes a little break. They have some outstanding guards. Owen from the outside, he can get out there, and Williams gets out front, and with the slam dunk, Sean Swoop.
That's just great athleticism and a great break. He got out in front, and Owen tried to hustle back the best he could, but this is outstanding.
That is Busse again. Swoop can't come up with it. Outside is Owen. He shoots the 3 and hits it. Back to a 4-point lead.
Inside, outside. He
Man,
can do
I'm telling you what.
Do you think Brad Fraser's into the game?
Yeah, he took his coat off a timeout ago. And
I'm getting hot just watching this game.
But you know what? You got to have, whatever you do, you got to have a passion, right?
Absolutely. Passion makes it work. And, you know, sometimes people watch you or see what you do and they don't understand it. They don't realize the love you have.
And he's got the passion, too. Gene Ballard. Two guys that love the game and love high school basketball and love their team.
It's just a game, but believe me, when you're coaching and playing, it's just a lot more than that. It's not that simple.
Josh Davey taking it all the way in. He gets killed. No call. Here comes Willett. It's a 4-on-2. He's going to give it to Hodge, and a great pick. And now Davey will go and lay it in. So the Bulldogs looked like they were going to have a lay-in, and Christian County turns the tables on it. Long pulls up from 15. That's no good. Long again inside. No good. Shot, or the quarter clock down to 3, and
Travel.
he did travel. We've got 1 second left, and I thought Davey was trying to call timeout as he hit the ground.
You know, we've had a situation in all 3 games where in the first quarter, guys have had some tough times getting the ball in the basket down low, not from 18 feet, but just down low. It's a lot of balls going up and rolling off the rim.
Owen has checked out of the game to get a little breather right before the first quarter ends. Game 3 of the NBC 14 Hoops Classic. Hope you're enjoying it. We should be going till about somewhere between 5:30 and 6. I think we're pretty much on schedule, which is kind of scary right there.
You know what? This is a pretty quick moving game in the fact no fouls. We've only had 4 fouls.
I mean, they can't catch up with each other.
That basket's not going to count anyway. We have come to the end of the first quarter of play. And Christian County leads the Bosse Bulldogs 24-18. Back to the NBC 14 Hoops Classic in a moment.
What does your bank look like? Today it can look like your telephone with voice banking from Citizens. With your phone, make transfers and get information 24 hours a day. Pay bills.
What'll work?
Or apply for a loan.
I found this car.
Voice banking, another example of leading the way by banking your way.
Leading the way, banking your way, Citizens.
What does your bank look like?
Looks like somebody missed the Shoe Carnival half-price sale. The holidays are here, and so are the savings. But only for a limited time. Because right now at Shoe Carnival, when you buy 1 pair at the white sticker price, you get a 2nd pair for half price. Plus, this week, a huge selection of women's boots are only $19.88. Special bonus items and a half price sale. Only at Shoe Carnival. Brand name gifts for every walk of life.
Transition basketball. I guess that's what this game is all about.
And again, this is a guy coming off the bench, Sean Swope. marvelous talent and synonymous with the Bosse athletes' athleticism.
That's how you finished in your pickup game the other day, Dean, wasn't it? You went over the top of Mike and just finished like
if
that?
I could jump right off your back, I could have done that maybe. Start of the second quarter, Jamal Brown, and that is Willett out front running things while Darrett takes a breather. Really, the Bulldogs with 5 outstanding guards and Willett right down the lane. And Gene Ballard said next year, Darrett's gone, we probably won't miss a beat. Stick Willett right in there and he'll run the show. Davey is running the show for the Colonels, and right down the gut he goes, and in it goes.
Dean, he sees the seam and he's gone. I mean, he really does a great job.
Hodge misses the dunk, and he gets the foul inside. Not sure who they're going to give it to. Maybe Daryl Bateman.
I can promise you guys next year he won't miss a shot like this.
That was 55. That's Brian Parker.
He got up on that, took it strong, and you know, people don't realize it takes a lot of confidence to go up like that on a dunk shot.
When you said a kid's got to work and be disciplined, what do you mean in the off season, during the season? What's the kid got to do today to be as good as he has to be?
You know, it's so hard today because there's so many options to go, but you got to be willing to go in the gym. You got to be willing to lift weights. You got to be willing when it's the hottest part of the day to be out there working at your game. You don't have to spend many hours. You have to spend quality time when you do it. There's too many of our young people who just want to go throw a ball up in the gym and they think that's working out. That's not working out. And guys like Steve Alford all the way down through Indiana history of schoolboys, they know what it is to work. And he's got the ability. Now, you know, let me give him credit, though. He spent a lot of time in AAU, but it's not just playing AAU games. It's really working on your individual and fundamental skills. And I think as a coach, that's the hardest thing to convince our young men and young women. They have to do that. They just want to play the game, but you can't play the game at a high level unless you can do the little things well.
26-21, Josh Davey, a left-hander, and they were forcing him right that time, and he went right down the gut right-handed and got fouled.
He is really a good player, and I'll tell you, I don't know. You know, I thought, well, I kind of like this guy, and then I think, well, maybe I'd like that guy instead. I mean, you could put together probably an all-star team off these two teams.
I'm thinking to go back to the last game, knocking 5'8", or in high heels, maybe. He didn't look like he was 5'8".
I'm glad we're not trying to put together an all-classic team. That might be kind of hard, fellas, and I'm telling you what, that was a great move by Darrett. He comes back into the game, and he took it. Well, that's Willett. I thought that was Darrett. That's 13, not 23.
You know, the one thing that might be sad about this game is there'll be so many good moves and so many individual great moves that you'll just see them over and over again. You'll really lose the understanding of just how special each one of those moves are. And you know, Mike, you brought up the point about size again. Folks, if you're at home and you're thinking my son's not going to be tall enough or my daughter's not, you do not have to be tall to play this game. You just have to be willing to put in the effort it takes, and you have to have a little God-given ability. But still, you got to be able to use it, and that's a lot of times you give up too soon with things.
Josh Davey played a little football for Christian County as a wide out. He runs the show as the quarterback of the basketball team. Here comes Willett. He's running the show. Jamal Brown with a sweet jumper. In and out, and Hodge is again up around the rim.
The rim or the square at the top? Now, where are you talking about?
Well, I was talking about where his head was.
I mean, he didn't even explode on that one, and he was up there. And Christian County doing a much better job of getting back a little bit defensively in this transition. And that's the adjustment. Whoever makes that adjustment is going to be in a situation to pull this game off. But, you know, 26-24, it's just right there.
The closest game we've had in the first half. The first two games actually weren't very close in the first half.
Hey, Bosse's gone to a little zone here, Dean. Looks like a 2-3 or 2-1-2. 2-3 zone.
Jason Owen, he's saying, throw me that ball out here on the wing. I'll shoot that three.
Let's see how Davey works against. Oh, beautiful.
Parker inside, tips it up, and tips in his own missed shot.
He just went through that zone. Just a beautiful pass. He can pass.
Brown with a pass down to Williams that goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you know, that was a great move by Christian County. They got the bucket on the other end, then they spread their defense out a little bit on the half court and confused Bosse, and they got the turnover. This is a nice piece of coaching right there.
Bosse is packing it back in right now in the zone. They can come out and get you two in a hurry, though.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably trap on the wings or look to trap up top once in a while. They got the quick hands and the long arms.
Owen from the outside. Boy, he's got a pretty stroke, doesn't he?
Somebody say Charles Barkley.
Man, hey, exactly. He looks there deceiving. He doesn't look like a basketball player, but boy, he is a fine basketball player.
Jimmy Long from about 21 tries to answer.
Follows the shot.
Nice
Inside
pass.
to Maffett. And it's Williams inside. When the ball goes up in kind of a freelance, I mean, there are a lot of arms going up awfully high to get it.
These guys, you know, they shoot that three-point shot. They've got to be ready for the long rebound. Timmy Long was. He was out there and got his own rebound and helped lead to a Bosse score.
And Williams skies for this one, and it goes out of bounds.
You know, the one thing that I've noticed is a lot of these guys, after their shot, they're back up tipping their own shot. They have not come down yet. And that is a great sign of athletic ability and balance, that they can suspend themselves almost and just go back up and tap it again. Great quickness.
Checking out of the game, Michael Bosse. Checking in is Anson Oldham. Anson is a part-time starter. He averages 7 points, 6'2", 180-pound senior.
And he's coming off some injuries, Dean. He had some tough luck last year, a couple of injuries that forced him to miss a lot of action. He's had 2 surgeries already in his ACL.
Yeah, one was the ACL, so that's a tough one.
You got to give him credit for even coming back from that. I mean, those are tough.
And even though he's kind of a big guy at 6'2", 180, he will step outside and shoot for 3. Fraser working, and a nice pass that time by Tim Long.
Christian County kind of came out into a half-court trap, and they handled it really well. They didn't get sloppy with the ball and found the backside, and that's what you got to look for against the trap, is the backside.
Davey goes inside, kind of keeps Willett at bay with one hand, and that's what Gene Ballard was saying. He said, how about a push-off?
Yeah, but once again, we see another outstanding player. And what do they all have? The same characteristics. They can draw fouls. They find a way to move their body and draw the foul, get a shot up, or find a guy to pass it to. And, you know, I'm kind of looking across the way at Mel Redmond and kind of smiling. He's probably glad he's not having to officiate this trap meet over there.
I believe he's got game 4 today. Jim Dunlap was supposed to be in game 3, and he was kind of mad at his daughter decided to have a baby, so he had to go to Texas, and we've got Dave Sinek. A very capable replacement, I might add. A lot of the officials were very excited about coming to the stadium and being able to officiate.
You know, we got some outstanding officials out there. Tournament tested. Jimmy Dunlap, of course, not here, but great official, and I hope everything goes well on the baby.
They're good people, too. You know, they're a good credit to the profession.
Brown checks out, and then Willett checks in. Or it's Darrett that actually checks in. So both point guards are in the lineup for Bosse, along with Timmy Long. Willett from the outside, and Williams goes high, and it doesn't go. Loose ball. Here come the Colonels, and it's going to be Michael Darrett that runs it down.
Oh, beautiful move.
Right. I'm not sure. I think he was throwing that one to Brad Fraser.
I think Brad was calling for that ball. But,
you know, knowing Brad as I do, I'm surprised he didn't catch it and shoot it.
He just went right by his defender out front. I mean, that was a classic sidestep move. Just classic.
Got a set play here for the Colonels.
Off a baseline screen. Comes back on the back.
Something about all these guys. They're all good finishers. I mean, you know, they have to be to make the plays that they make at the open end. They really fly.
Well, we just, you know, Unless you have that ability, you just don't understand.
33-28. We are halfway through quarter number 2. Bosse and Christian County back with the final 3:45 of the first half. The NBC Hoops Classic right after this.
What does your bank look like? Now it looks like your telephone with voice banking from Citizens. Simple 24-hour access to banking services. Transfer funds.
For express transfer.
Pay bills or apply for loans.
For bill payment.
Or talk to a real person when you need to.
This is Amy. May I help you?
Voice banking from Citizens.
Leading the way, banking your way, Citizens.
What does your bank look like?
During a season of giving and get-togethers, it's time for the best savings of the year. It's on now, the 19th annual Toyotathon. Toyota dealers are out to sell 32,000 new Camrys nationwide with great limited-time deals. Now's the time to lease Camry at a low $219 a month and discover what Toyota quality and value are all about. Or get special 6.9% financing if you buy America's #1 selling automobile. It only comes once a year.
That's Bubelow & Sons in Jasper, where customers send their friends.
Basketball on the Tri-State, young and old, enjoying the games here at the NBC 14 Hoops Classic. Hope you're enjoying them at home. I'm Dean Webster, alongside is Mike Blake and Kenny Schulteis. We are having a lot of fun, folks, and I'm telling you what, we are just about, we're through 2 games in game number 3, and some great basketball being played today.
Not only is there great basketball being played, but there's great basketball to come in that number 4 matchup, that Bloomington South and Vincennes Lincoln. That is going to be a heck of a ball game.
I talked to a lot of area coaches that are looking forward to, I think I may sneak in for game 4, and everybody looking to come to a couple of them. Josh Davey gets inside.
What a pass by the big guy.
I know normally it's Davey making the pass, but he was on the recipient end, and that was a beautiful pass by the big guy.
Long decides not to shoot it from the outside. It's easy. You don't shoot it from the outside. You just go right on the inside.
Somebody asked Gene Ballard, why is he such a good shooter? It's just because he works at it. He shoots and shoots and shoots. He really practices his shooting.
And really, that's the key for him, because you see all the penetration ability of this team. It's going to give him an opportunity for that easy outside shot.
Here comes Darrett and Adam Williams on the run. Boy, I tell you what, Williams is a good finisher.
You can't even set up for him. They're so quick going to the basket, it's tough to set up for him.
Parker just about moves it out of bounds, and Keith Bagby says he was out of bounds. 3-point lead for Christian County. They are actually wearing the home uniforms. When we scheduled this game, it was actually Christian County's home game when these two were supposed to play during the regular season. So Christian County remains in the white uniforms, and Bosse wears the visiting red.
I'll tell you, one thing people watching this might take note of is how quick Davey gets the ball from one end of the court to the other. I mean, he does a great job for Christian County.
Brad Fraser says he can't be trapped.
I don't think you can. He's so low to the ground and so quick. He sees things before they develop, and that's a sign of a great player, especially basketball.
Timmy Long, one of our keys to the game was Long had to get some outside shots. Well, he hasn't. They've done a good job, Christian County has, flagging him down from the outside, but so he's just going to the inside.
Jerry Davey again. He just gets inside that lane area at will.
He averages 8 assists a game. Inside is Willett. He takes it right down the hoop, and everybody was covered, so he shot it himself.
And that's not even being generous, because I'm sure if you wanted to be generous, he probably averaged double figures. I mean, he really does a great job of distributing the ball.
This could be ugly. Michael Darrett and the fans want a dunk, and he does. He provides the slam dunk. I don't know, he held up 5. Do you think they're counting their dunks on the, is that 5 for the season for him? I don't know. You don't think anybody would do that, do you? I guarantee if I could dunk it, I'd be counting them. Minute and a half left to go, first half now.
You'd count net touches.
I would. Bosse back in front, 38-37. Christian County has pretty much led this one throughout, but the Bulldogs coming back and taking the lead.
Right, a little half-court shuffle here, taking a little time off the clock with the back cut.
Davey, pull up. Oh, what a soft touch he's got. And Owen is going to be fouled probably by Williams.
Few people will get it away from him.
Tell you, they could go to a 1-4 baseline low and put him out top, and I think people would have a problem trying to pull him up. You need 2 and 3 people helping. Just let him penetrate. If he's got the shot, take it. Otherwise, kick it.
Division I.
Owen, I think he'll play Division I. I really do. I think he's got such a soft touch and he's strong. And I don't know what level of the Division I he'll play, but I think he's got a good shot at it.
6'4", 220. Parrish Acebeer about that same type of mold, same.
Well, there was nobody better around the bucket, huh?
Oh, he's tough.
What an, and he was like, this kid is an athlete.
Right.
You look at him and you say, oh, you know, he doesn't look like a basketball player. He is an athlete.
And he's only a junior, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming back, and he's got time to sculpt that body a little bit and improve on the other things, and I think he's definitely got a shot at some level of Division I.
We know now why Brad Fraser said, I think he's the best junior in the state. Long trying to take it against Davey and Bosse.
Bosse's not seeing some of their back cuts right now. They've got their heads down, and they've had some guys cutting open to the basket. They haven't been able to see them.
Christian County back on top, 39-38. Owen just does a lot of things right. Boy, hits his free throws, go outside, go inside.
Very soft touch for a big guy like that.
They get a kick out of Brad Fraser. He's doing more coaching. And I mean, I don't know how he's got his voice.
We are seeing Bosse run the same half-court offense that Christian County was just running down on this end. So tell me these guys don't know each other.
They, in fact, I think Gene Ballard even said we run the same press breaker. We do a lot of things alike.
Absolutely.
Inside a swope, and he gets hammered.
Well, both teams are running a kind of what you call a half-court shuffle, trying to get that back cut and penetration. And you know, at first I thought I'm seeing Christian County again, but no, it was Bosse.
10 seconds to go, first half, 39-38.
Gene Ballard said this kid is a great kid. He says a little too meek. We want him a little meaner, but he's a fine talent. He too played some football.
Got one, guys, got one.
I would say that Coach Ballard has a lot to feel positive about, to feel good about. I mean, this is such a talented group of Bosse players, and I don't mean to say that to put the monkey on Bosse's back from the standpoint of they should win every game. That's not true, but they are so talented. They've got great coaching. I mean, look at the assistant coach, Joe Mullen.
Yeah.
Who won any more in the city as a head coach than Joe Mullen?
Dirk Searles, a pretty good player,
Absolutely.
too, sitting next to Joe.
They got more coaches over there than we've got crew members, I'm telling you. 8 seconds to go, and they get it to Timmy Long. And boy, I tell you what, they have done a good job of knowing where Long is on the outside. But again, he gets on the inside. That one is not going to count, and the Bulldogs at the very end have jumped up in front. 41-39. Bulldogs lead the Colonels. We are halfway through Game 3 of the NBC 14 Hoops Classic. We'll be back with our halftime show right after this.
You're watching the NBC 14 Hoops Classic, brought to you by Citizens Bank, Temple Ford, and WFIE NBC 14.
What does your bank look like? Today it might look like, or like, but it can also look like, or like, and tomorrow it might even look like, because we're citizens, and we're leading the way by banking your way.
Leading the way, banking your way, citizens.
What does your bank look like?
Honest, reliable service. That's just what you'll find at Rabin Tire. Our technicians are ASE certified. That's Automotive Service Excellence. And even though many of them have as much as 20 years experience, they still go to workshops and seminars to learn the latest technologies. What's more, they're just good people, and they'll treat your vehicle as if it were their own. Rabin Tire.
Benjamin Bosse High School has a long and storied tradition. Just as the man it was named for, Bosse has been a leader in the Evansville school community. The Media Center puts the world at students' fingertips. The world of science comes alive for these Bosse students in their new science wing. Pride in their academic achievements carries over to their tradition as a sports powerhouse. NBC 14 salutes the Bulldogs of Bosse High School, proud participants in this year's NBC 14 Hoops Classic.
When you're the news leader, you've got to have the latest equipment and experienced people who know how to use it. You get a powerful mix of experience and technology with Chopper 14 and the Newswatch team. With Chopper 14, we're taking local news to a higher level, going where others can't. You see the story unfold from all angles. Chopper 14, the future of news coverage from the team you trust the most, only on NBC 14, the Tri-State's news leader.
Back at Roberts Stadium, the Bosse Bulldogs leading the Christian County Colonels 41-39. On the floor right now is the Temple War 4 Lincoln Mercury Hoops Express shootout. One lucky fan gets a chance to win the 1998 Ford F-150 Layer-side pickup truck in 24 seconds, hitting a layup, a free throw, a three-point shot, and a half-court shot, and that's going on now. And the crowd is enjoying this as he makes an attempt in 24 seconds to win this beautiful $27,000 pickup truck. And he hits the free throw. Out to the three-point lane, and he misses. And the clock is winding down. We're at 6 seconds. Don't think he's going to do it. A valiant effort, however, in the Temple Ford Hoops Express shootout. Welcome back to Roberts Stadium. Again, halftime of the Bosse Christian County game. I'm joined by Mike Madriaga, City Athletic Director here in Evansville, and by Gene Miller, a 17-year head coach of the Vincennes Lincoln Alices, who will be involved in the final game of the Hoops Classic against Bloomington South. Welcome, Coach Gene Miller, to the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be part of the Hoops Classic. I think it's a great thing for high school basketball.
So you're looking forward to taking on Bloomington South. Actually, it's a road game for them. They are renovating, or home game for them here because of their gym renovation going on there.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to playing against them. We know it's a very good basketball team, a very well-coached team that plays together very well, very fundamentally sound, and it's going to be a very tough opponent for us.
Gene, last year at the end of the season, I looked at your ball club and roster, and I thought, my God, he's going to be hard to stop. Different look. Some things have happened to you in the off season. Tell us about it.
Well, John Hayden getting hurt during football season was a big obstacle for us to overcome. He really hurt the football team because I thought they had a great chance to win a state championship if he would have played, but he got injured, and he's not with us. So instead of having that 6'1", 190-pound guard with 3 years experience, we're going with one about 5'11", 140 pounds. But he's been playing very well for us. We're talking about Todd Roth, and hopefully he can continue to improve and be the kind of basketball player we want him to be at the end of the year.
The 6'9" kid in the middle, how's he playing?
He's a pretty good player. Charles has been playing very well for us. Of course, the last ball game, he only scored 2 points, but Gibson Southern held the ball on us, and we only scored 21 as a team, and they were kind of putting everybody around him. But he's a very good basketball player, and hopefully he'll be able to go tonight. Last night he sprained his ankle during practice, and it was a severe blow. I understand Charles really wants to play, and he's going to give it his best shot today.
It's all about overcoming adversity. Injury is a part of the game, of course, and despite all the problems that you've had, you're still ranked 5th in Class 3A with a respectable 5-1 record.
Well, we played pretty well in some basketball games. I think in the last 3 or 4 ball games we played pretty well, and hopefully we can continue today. We're going to have to play better than we have in the ball games, because I think that Bloomington South is the best team we've played this year. I really enjoyed watching their team play when I was scouting them. I think, as I said, a well-coached team and one that is put together very well, and they're very fundamentally sound. And then with their leader, John Holmes, out front, that makes them very tough.
Well, we'll see what happens, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Good luck today.
All right, thank you very much.
And we're back to talk to J.R. Holmes, the coach of Bloomington South, when we continue with the NBC 14 Hoops Classic live from Roberts Stadium in just a moment.
The Charity Countdown Challenge is going on now at Riverbend Chevy Old.
And Temple Ford Lincoln Mercury. to see who can sell the most vehicles before the ball drops.
And to see who can donate the most to the Tri-State Food Bank. The big green dot means extra cash savings at Riverbend.
Dimple Wolf has special year-end pricing on every new model in stock.
Who will win the Countdown Cup?
Who can offer you the best savings?
Riverbend Chevy.
No, it's Dimple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Highway 41 North in Henderson.
Where do the years go? Everything's moving so fast these days. It's not enough anymore to have a bank that just keeps up with the pace. Your bank's got to move ahead, have the resources already in place, even before you're ready to grow into them. And that's exactly the reason we're your bank for life. Every phase of your life, just starting out, sending kids to college, retirement. Where do the years go?
Here's to life. From Old National, your bank for life.
And we are back at Roberts Stadium. Bosse leading Christian County at halftime of Game 3 of the NBC 14 Hoops Classic, 41-39. Joined now by J.R. Holmes, who is head coach of Bloomington South. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you very much for having me on.
This is a rather unusual season for you, to say the least, isn't it?
To say the least. Yeah, this is our 8th straight road game, and it doesn't get any better. They're all on the road this year with 20 games away from our gym is being renovated, and so it's a tussle.
JR, one thing that you mentioned to us before, not only are you on the road, but you're on the road with no seniors. How'd this come about?
Well, we had a couple juniors last year that played a reserve role behind some sophomores, and they also were starting on the football team that went all the way to the final game, and were 4 or 5 weeks late, and they're also starters on the baseball team. And I think they just wanted to break the rest up for that when they knew we were going to be a young team and so on. And so we end up with no seniors.
JR, a little bit about the makeup of your team. What can we look for?
Well, like I said, we returned 4 starters from last year. We played 4 sophomores at the end of the season last year, and all 4 of them will start tonight. And we're also going to start a freshman, I think, at the other guard. We played 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 6 juniors in our top 10 players. And we had won our first 6 games. We got beat last Saturday. We didn't shoot the ball very well, so I hope that we can come out of that today and hope to get up and down the floor a little bit and somehow try to stop Hetty inside and the low kid are both a big load for us to try to do.
What does it mean to your school to be involved in the NBC 14 Hoops Classic?
Well, it gave us a place to play our games because it's supposed to be our home game. So that was one less place I had to try to find. And, I think it's a great honor. Our kids get a chance to play in a great place like this. And I'm sorry it's just so far away that we don't get a whole lot of support. But, Bloomington is an IU town. And over Christmas vacation, they all think they're IU students can go to Florida and everything. So, but it's nice for the kids and a way to break up the vacation time.
Okay, you ready to go against Vincent?
Well, yeah, as ready as we can be. This is like their second home here. They play so many games here in the regional and the semi-states. Right. And play the Evansville schools here some, So it'll be a tough game for us, but we'll see what happens.
And your thoughts on any of the action that you've checked out in this game going on right now?
Pretty athletic. Both teams up and down the floor. They play at a different level of height anyway above the rim than we play. And we'd have to really control the tempo to play with those kinds of teams. And but we're not terrible, but we're not great either. When we're trying to get there, we think we got a good future ahead of us, and we get our new gym and have 3 years to play in there with our freshman class that's coming through, plus our junior class is pretty good also.
Okay, Coach, good luck to you. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's get down to Jenny Whitmer right down on the floor. Jenny?
But Dan, I found the cheerleading squad for Vincennes High School. Are you guys excited? So where did you all come from?
Vincennes, Lincoln.
And are you excited to be here today?
Yeah, we're really excited to be here.
What do you all think about the game so far?
I wasn't really watching.
Okay, at least she's being honest. Are you all pumped up for the last game of the day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what about the basketball team? Have you guys gotten to see them before? On the way down here before the game, are they excited about it?
Yeah, we were following them down here, but, we kind of got ahead of them.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Back to you, Dan.
Okay, Jenny, very good. Thank you very much. We're back with Mike Madriaga to talk a little about what's been taking place in this Bosse Christian County game, led by Bosse by a couple of points, 41-39. We're about to tip it off in the second half. Mike, your thoughts?
Dan, we said at the onset that it'd be up and down the floor, and it has been up and down the floor, but the thing that
I think key right now is Bosse's run into a team that has athleticism as they do, and they kind of canceled each other out, and it was interesting to see Bosse come back there at the end the way they did it.
Always makes for a more exciting game, I think, in some people's minds, and we're seeing games, at least the first two games, in the 70s and 60s, but this one looks like we're headed into the 80s for sure, so a lot more excitement ahead.
I think so, and after talking to two coaches in the next game, I'm kind of pumped to see what happens there. I think JR may be sandbagging on us. He's got a good ball club.
Yeah, we'll certainly find that out as the two teams get ready to tip it off in the second half, led, of course, by Bosse, 41-39. It's been a very exciting morning and early afternoon here at Robert Stadium as we've had into our third game now. Let's get back down on courtside. Dean Webster. Dino?
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Back with Kenny Schulteis here. Kenny, you know, Game 3 almost started out just like Games 1 and 2, where one of the teams got out to a little bit of a lead. In North Posey, they never did quite catch up. Memorial caught up and lost. Bosse not only caught up, but they're ahead, and they kind of made up the ground long before the other two did.
Well, we definitely have a much more competitive first half game, and we've seen just so much athletic skill and talent out here, and yeah, I think it's really hard for one team to get up on the other because of the type of play that's being done out here. I mean, not a lot of perimeter shots are being put up. Most of the shots are off transition, 6, 8 feet. But it's been a great competitive game as far as the score is concerned.
What do you think the coaches were telling the teams at halftime?
I think really they're talking about, let's keep playing this style, but let's make sure we get the very best shot out of it that we can. And I think they probably want two things to happen. Let's pick it up defensively and create some turnovers, and let's start to block out and get some rebounds, not just tips, but rebounds.
All right, we are about ready to tip off Game 2, and let's take a look at the first half highlights. And one of the things that kind of jumps out at you, look at that field goal percentage shooting. Very impressive shooting by both teams.
Tremendous, way over 50% for both clubs and doing a decent job from the free throw line. Not a lot of free throws have been shot.
Yeah.
There haven't been a tremendous amount of turnovers for the style of balls that's being played. But even with the turnovers, they haven't been critical ones because they've been able to get the ball back and do so much with it.
Bosse shooting 63% in the first half. Christian County at 57%. One of the keys to the game we thought were the Bulldogs, that they were going to have to get Timmy Long some outside shots, and they really didn't do that.
It hadn't been there yet. Look at 3 of 6 for Christian County, and that's really what put them ahead and has kept them in it. Bosse really, if they can get some perimeter shooting going, might pull away in this.
The Colonels got us the ball inside on the offense, and it looks like both teams going back to their starters in this one. I tell you what, we'd like to thank Roy Pickrell from Kentucky Wesleyan for providing all of our stats today. He's doing a whale of a job. John McCauley, he's been our announcer here at the arena, and of course he does the Aces games and a lot of other events. And just had a lot of people jump in, pitch in, help. Papa John's Pizzas bringing in pizzas back there for the teams to eat. So it's just been kind of a community effort. It's not just been Channel 14 doing this. It's been a whole community.
Would you call it a team effort?
It would be a team effort. There's no
like
I in team.
No, just like the game. Everybody's forward, centers, and guards.
Maffett puts it in. So Chris Maffett.
There we go on a miss, the block out, the reboundings are keys, and they didn't get it done there.
Josh Davey kicks it out, and Davey always seems to be in the right place. And boy, here comes Michael Derritt, and it's a 4-on-1. Pitches it back to Long. Long kicked it inside, and it went right off Moffitt's hand.
Sometimes in transition, you get going so fast. They had a 4-on-1 situation, literally 2 guys open, but because they're playing at such a high pace, they don't see things as clearly as they need to, and that was really a golden opportunity to score.
Because there's 4, they're almost too cramped on that break. They almost need one guy needs to stop.
And they all want to get there. They all want to get the job done. It just creates a little bit of a problem.
Inside to Pepper, and is Josh Davies some kind of point guard? The vision he has is incredible.
Oh, I don't see how he sees these people. Before that play, he came through the lane and fired one back up to the free throw. I don't see how he sees them.
He looks out of control.
He does.
He does it every time, so you know he's got to be under control. Knock it inside, and it is 45-41 Bulldogs.
I wonder if he can throw a baseball, because he certainly can throw a basketball. He zips it.
Inside, Owen, and Moffitt's got his hands full with Jason Owen. Boy, what a nice little turnaround.
Beautiful move, and because of his size, he was able to create some space there on the baseline. So who said, you know, the big guys, they have that advantage. If they use it, they can create space with their bodies.
That's 18 points now for Owen, and here come the Colonels back, trailing by a deuce, 45-43. Hey, I'm telling you what, they know who to get the ball to, don't they? They gave it to Davey. And DeMarcus Bateman, he knew what he was doing. He said, I'm going to give it to Josh Davey, and I'll get the ball back, and I'll score.
Absolutely. Get it to Davey's hands before the half court if you can, and you'll guarantee a bucket on the other end by somebody else.
Outside, Myron Hodge pulls the trigger on 3, and it's Adam Williams on the inside. Williams might be slated to play some football and run track at IU. IU's really interested in him.
Well, from way out. He's shown a wide variety of skills. He didn't hit that shot, but boy, he let it go beautifully.
He's got a great rotation.
Moffitt from the wing, and he carries the shot.
Like
so Mr. Moffitt's on hot fire here in the third quarter.
He's really a nice surprise as far as seeing some of the things he can do.
I talked to Gene Ballard right after the Harrison game, and he I said, boy, great game last night, Coach. And he said, yeah. He said, but the cat's out of the bag on Moffitt.
Yeah, I mean, he's really a good player.
49-47. Owen hands another. He's got 20.
I tell you what, we have a lot of good players out here that can excel. But, you know, whether it's Division I or Division II, they're going to do a great job for somebody. And the way Division II is played anymore, it's as good as Division I basketball anymore. You know, you watch the Screaming Eagles and Kentucky Wesley and those teams, they play at such a high level. So, you know, either place they choose, it's going to be great basketball.
That GLBC is very tough to play. And I know Bruce Pearl's here, and he's got his eye on several, including Adam Seitz in that very first game.
Well, you know, Bruce can recruit with anybody. I mean, he's a great coach, and he does a super job, and he may not get the opportunity at some of the players the first time around because it is Division II, but I think his players see what kind of program he has. They know it's great basketball. And Bruce does a great job.
On one end, it was Davey tying it up, and on the other end, the Bulldogs jumping right back in front. And a nice under control by the sophomore. That's Michael Bussell, 6'1", 150, averaging 7 points a game. Really like that young man on the break. Really under control.
We've got 102 total points scored here, and we're halfway through the third quarter, folks. 51 all.
I said it might take 90 to win this one. It might be just a tad high. Out on the break again is Bussell.
That ball was in the cylinder, and I believe Darrett, was it Darrett that went up there and just poked it out of there?
This one is definitely being played above the rim.
He's up. Yeah, that ball is actually in the cylinder, and he just goes up elbow high and pops it out of there.
It's been kind of a team effort against the one-man show, though, for Christian County. They only have one player in double figures, and that's Owen. He's 8 of 11 from the field.
But you know, it hasn't been a situation, Dean, where he's just come down and shot it. The ball's been moved, and Davey's found him over and over again. My God.
And there are times where he doesn't touch it. You know,
absolutely.
Unlike, you know, maybe the last game where Williams and Keon both needed to touch the ball for their teams to be successful. Inside it goes to Slope, I believe, or that's Williams, and it's knocked out of bounds. Dave Sinning says, stay here, red ball.
I can tell you, the guy that needs to touch the ball for CC out there is number 3. It don't matter. He's going to do something good with it. Give him the ball. Beautiful inside play.
And boy, right there is Moffitt. Williams misses, but
real simple. EOB underneath, just posted him on the block hard and got it into him.
Davis again and hit on the wrist.
Bosse is really going to have, you know, if Davey starts to penetrate again like he did early in the first half, they're going to have to really help, and that's going to leave those people open in the post. So we're going to need to see a full defensive rotation of all the Bosse players moving from player to area if that happens. Otherwise, we're going to see layups by Christian County.
3.5 to go in the third quarter. We're all tied, 53 all between Bosse and Christian County. Back at the NBC 14 Hoops Classic in a moment.
What does your bank look like? As financial service moves toward the high-tech future, you might have thought your bank would look cold and impersonal. But electronic banking is so fast, simple, and convenient. You'll have more time to do the things that are really important. Electronic banking from Citizens. Just another example of leading the way by banking your way.
Leading the way, banking your way, Citizens.
What does your bank look like?
Circuit City's After Christmas sale is going on now, and you'll save on top brand names in every department. Pay no interest till January of $19.99 on all big screen TVs, all camcorders $4.99 and up, and all appliances $3.99 and up. And get free delivery on all appliances $3.99 and up. Plus all 32-inch and larger TVs, hi-fi stereo VCRs, appliances, home audio loudspeakers, and more are on sale. Don't miss the savings at Circuit City's After Christmas sale, going on now.
We knew it would be an up-and-down game, and boy, it has been. 53 all. And they waste no time in getting the ball up. I'm telling you what, DeMarcus Bateman came from nowhere and knocked the ball away on the break.
You know, usually when you watch athletic events, you can get up from the TV and go get something out of the kitchen. You really can't do that in this game because there's so much action moving up and down the floor, you miss something.
Hodge from the baseline, boy, is that a pretty stroke on the three-pointer.
And that's why coaches like him. I mean, he's 6'6", and he's shooting that ball from the three-point line. I mean, he's just got a lot of versatility in his game.
He's just a sophomore. He could go maybe grow a couple more inches. Beatty gets it up there. Another offensive rebound for Christian County. That's their 9th offensive rebound as Parker puts it in. Parker with just his 4th point of the day, but he's had 2 rebound buckets. Hodge is starting to feel it a little bit after stroking that three. He's wanting the ball.
And that's, I think Coach Ballard like to see that more out of him. Be a little bit more aggressive offensively and defensively. Sometimes he plays too passive. He's just got too much talent to be that passive.
Hodge, fade away from about 16 feet.
That is beautiful.
Man, I'm telling you what, that is an unstoppable shot. Myron now has 8 points, 5 here in the quarter.
That's his average. I believe it's about 8 a game, so he's hit that average and looking for more. He needs to keep it going. He really plays in streaks offensively, and he needs to be a little bit more consistent.
Got the foul inside. 58-55. Bosse leading Christian County. Christian County led pretty much all the first half until right at the end of the first half. And now the entire third quarter being led by the Bulldogs.
Does Christian County look like they're slowing down a bit?
I'll tell you, I've been watching Mr. Owen a little bit here to see how he's handling this pace of the game, and he's starting to slow down a little bit. I can tell that. I want to see what he's like in the fourth quarter.
Davey isn't slowing down.
No, Davey's he's just top-notch player.
Parker inside, and the big 6'6", 200-pound senior gets fouled on the inside.
You know, we're bragging on a lot of these players, and I know some people are probably saying, well, they can't all be Division I players, but it's not necessarily that is what we're talking about. We're just talking about their ability on the high school level to make things happen. I mean, Davey is as good a passer as I've seen in 13 years that I coached. I mean, he just does a tremendous job of getting rid of the ball and seeing the floor. Now, whether he does that on the next level or not, I don't know. But I can tell you right now, he's one heck of a high school basketball player.
Willett comes down with the rebound.
Fraser says he delivers the ball perfectly. It's one thing. Willett knew it. It's one thing to get the ball to the guy, but he gets it to where the guy can do something with it.
Yeah, he hits him in the hands. He hits him where he can either score or kick it off. He doesn't hit him by the ankles or up by the head. He hits him right in the hands where they need the ball to do something.
And the way he gets it there. I mean, you just wonder how in the world he even sees him and then to deliver it. And what a perfect place to give it to Owen. I mean, it's unstoppable.
You can tell these guys have played a lot together, too, because they all seem to be in the right spot for one another.
Back tied at 58 all. Minute and a half to go. And Parker's going to be called for the baseline. He wanted a little push-off on Moffett. Owen now with 22 points. Guys, he has 9 of 13 from the field.
I'd say he's going to score for you today.
We have seen some great individual performances.
Well, and I knew that we would. We have some very good individual players in the Classic, and we've got a great set of individuals coming up next game as well.
That is Williams. He doesn't get it to go, and Jason Owens, the big O, pulls it down. Davey inside, kicks it out. The 3 ball is good.
How many assists does Davey have right now? I mean, Davey finds somebody every time down.
He's got to have 10.
We'll get our crack. We've got him for 6. Oh, maybe this quarter.
He may have a few more than 6. And maybe it's just because when he has passed it, it's eventually led to a basket, so it just seems like he's had more. But, guys, I'll tell you what, I've seen 3 this quarter for sure. So I don't know. He really looks good.
Colonel's leaded by 3, 61-58. Moffett and Parker really battling inside.
Getting a little more physical, guys.
Starting to heat up a little bit.
I think fatigue is setting in a little bit. Now we're going to start laying the big bodies on each other, and we're really going to start getting nasty out there a little bit.
Willett from the outside. That's short on the 3, and Brown with a nice hustle, and it's taken away. Here comes Bateman in, and he puts it in. Beautiful. Marcus Bateman. He's got 6 points.
Now, they don't waste their dribbles in the open court. They take advantage. They go somewhere when they dribble the basketball. And that really is what makes a good offensive player when he's dribbling the ball.
All of a sudden, it's a 5-point lead by Christian County, 63-58. Inside 10 seconds, and Moffett puts it in. And they're not going to, Christian County's not going to get the ball in bounds in time to get a shot off. The buzzer sounds. It's no good.
Closer than what we thought it would be.
Certainly was a lot closer. And we have finished the 3 quarters of basketball, and Christian County holds a 3-point lead, 63-60, with the final 8 minutes of the 3rd game of the NBC 14 Hoops Classic. We'll be back at Roberts Stadium in a moment.
The Charity Countdown Challenge is going on now at Riverbend Chevy Old.
And Dimpleville Ford Lincoln Mercury to see who can sell the most vehicles before the ball drops.
And to see who can donate the most to the Tri-State Food Bank. The big green dot means extra cash savings at Riverbend.
Dimplewolf has special year-end pricing on every new model in stock.
Who will win the Countdown Cup?
Who can offer you the best savings?
Riverbend Chevy Old.
No, it's Dimplewolf Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Highway 41 North in Henderson.
Business is our work. We know manufacturing, service, wholesale, and retail. And we understand where your business fits in. You know how it works, and we can work together to keep it working. What's it take to be your community's leading business partner? Believing that our business is built on believing in yours. It's clear to us that your success is our success.
Here's to the life of your business. From your Bank for Life, Old National.
Welcome back. Christian County with a 3-point lead, joined now by a man who probably knows more about Hoosier basketball than any man in the building right now. It's Kip Wessner, who publishes this magazine right here, very familiar to folks, Hoosier Basketball. Kip, thanks a lot. Tell us a little about the publication.
It's an annual issue, comes out once a year, and I'm the associate editor. My boss, Gary Don, has been publishing it for 28 years. We got 3 players from today's games on the cover: Charles Hetty from Vincennes, Adam Seitz from Pike Central, and Clint Keon from Evansville Memorial. So it's great to see everybody on one building.
And it's a collector's item. This is the last year of the one-class system in Indiana. Now, of course, going to different classes. So, Kip, good luck with the publication. I know you are traveling the state, and good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Mike, Steve.
All right, back 65-60. As Parker just got the ball to go in.
A sensational assist again by Mr. Davies.
That is Willett, and he gets it inside to Moffitt, who goes right around Parker.
Did you see how quick Moffitt turned the corner there? He got that ball, and guys, his drop step spin move was quick. I mean, defensively, the guy didn't know where he went. I mean, he was gone. That was excellent.
And what really makes him dangerous, he's got a little fade away from the baseline, and you never know which one he's going to do, so he really causes some problems.
That's going to be big-time trouble for people down the road. That was a great move in the post.
Hodge inside. Myron no good, and Owen yanks it down, and he's going to try to lead the break, and he gets it out to Bussell, who, and that one is tipped. It's tipped by Darrett, and I think they may have called a technical for maybe slapping the backboard.
Right.
And a technical for hitting the backboard.
Well, normally they'll let that go, but if it does affect the shot, if they believe it affects the shot, they will call the technical.
I didn't see it the first time, but boy, the instant replays definitely showed it. Dave Sinning right on there.
It was definitely a good call by Sinning, and this is really not what Bosse wants. I mean, they're down 5, and we're really getting to like a watershed point.
Owen has had some kind of day. He just hits another point. He's got 23 points now.
Outstanding. Look, I mean, he plays a complete game, too. He's got assists. He's hit 3-pointers. He's got rebounds. He gets up and down the floor. Excellent.
24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He's hit a couple of threes. You're right. He has, and you know, he sent a couple of pretty good picks down there.
I believe he could probably set a few picks.
I believe that's Christian County's biggest lead at 67-60, and the Bulldog faithful grumbling a little bit behind us.
I think this is a watershed point. I think Bosse is really digging a hole for themselves, and oh boy.
Boy, Owen cans it again, 69-60.
We need a basket right. You know, Bosse needs a basket right here. You know, you don't want to get down double figures going in that fourth quarter situation. You start to rush it a little bit then.
I was thinking Keon's 32 points might be safe as a classic record. Mr. Owen jumping in there, and Myron Hodge now hits another 2.
And how's he get it? Somebody didn't block out. We had a bad shot, and Hodge ends up putting it in.
Davey inside looks to be in trouble, but he kicked it out right away.
That or 3 seconds, one of the two. You know, I don't know if they call 3 seconds anymore. Oh, he traveled there.
The one time maybe that he just got caught out of control, and he looks over at Coach Fraser and said, "My bad, I just got a little out of control." And
it'd be tough to get mad at him with all the good that he does. But
you're certainly, as a coach, not going to be able to say, "Don't do that anymore."
That time he lost his body balance. He was going forward where normally he goes straight up.
Willett left alone outside, and Willett has pulled the trigger a couple of times now, short on the outside. And Darrett, he hits it. Here comes Owen leading the break. He doesn't have the number, so he decides to pull it back. From the wing, and that's a 3 by Michael Bussell. And
Bussell has been a key this second half, guys. He has been terrific, and he is really quick.
No timeout by Gene Ballard. He's trying to weather the storm until the media timeout. Darrett takes it inside, gets the basket, and where do you go to when you need a basket? You go to your senior, you go to your point guard.
You go to your key people, and last the 3 possessions Bosse had, the first 2 possessions they came down and ran the same play and got nothing. And this time they go to Darrett. Darrett uses his quickness, his body control, and draws a foul as well as making the basket. And that's big right now.
Pepper gets called for the foul. That's his first on the day. He's been kind of quiet today.
Well, he'd be the only one that's been quiet.
Swope coming back in.
Man, the thing about both these teams, they can score so many points so quickly. So what looks like a 10, 11-point potential there, boom, all of a sudden you've got it down to 8, possibly cut it lower than that. And you just chip away, but they can do it so quickly. That's what makes both teams so tough.
Davey with it on the break again, and here come the Colonels. And a bounce pass, and Keith Bagby says he carried it before he bounced past it.
2 turnovers on Davey here in the last few possessions. Maybe he's getting a little tired.
He's only got 3 on the day. Both teams are pretty much taking care of the basketball. 10 turnovers on the day, and for this style of ball, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. You expect to see more turnovers than this.
Brad Fraser wants to talk it over. You know, when you look at Williams, there's a kid that high jumps. You forget he's a good football. He high jumps 6'9". That's the type of athlete we got out here on the court. And also going back to Owen, not only did he say he thinks he's the best junior in the state, Dean, I think Brad Fraser said he may be the best. He could become the best to ever wear a Colonel's uniform. He thinks the kid's that in terms of potential. He thinks and he's had some pretty good players through the years.
Brad Fraser, he is 100th game as a coach, as a head coach. He's in his 4th season, 100 head coaching or 100th game at Christian County. He's, of course, also coached some girls basketball at Gibson Southern and also down at Providence. 4th season, 62-37.
When you were at Jasper, he was at North. 80, is that what you got out, or 81?
81, yeah. I remember Brad playing for North, and they had some really good teams through that period.
Pendleton and Farmer and that bunch.
Excellent.
Pepper, I said he was quiet, and he scores one. Back to an 8-point lead, 74-66. 12-point lead just moments ago at 72-60. Timmy Long finds himself open for one of the few times. And Christian County on the run again.
Bosse ran a nice little play there. They ran a strong side, kind of a slide screen for Long, and he had a great shot there. He just couldn't quite connect with it. He's been quiet from the perimeter.
Hodge from 3, and he hits it again, and that was a huge 3.
Always coming up with a big basket. He doesn't do much for a couple minutes, and boom, he comes up with a big basket. That's why people think he's going to be a good one.
I don't know how much more we can say about Josh Davey. I tell you what, it's if Christian County wins, it would be kind of hard to pick a player of the game.
They have to go with 2, you know?
Well, we're fortunate that we have television, because you cannot appreciate Josh Davey unless you've actually seen him playing. And folks, you can see Derek going down the lane again. Who do they go to when they need a bucket? But the senior, he has a nice spin move, goes strong down. This is his second three-point play opportunity here when they've needed a basket.
76-71. Myron Hodge just canned a big 3 for him the last time down the floor.
By the way you're looking, and when you look at Michael Derritt, you're looking at one of the top track performers in the state. He was a track finalist, state finalist in 2 events, the 400 and 1600 meters.
That's good. We got 1 shot, number 4. 1 shot.
He also, you know, you forget, he's an assist man. He had 137 assists in 1 year. Boy.
Derritt at the line, 0 for 3 today. A three-point play opportunity here. 0 for 4.
That's tough. You got to have your point guard hitting those.
Well, you know, if you can create foul situations like a Seitz or a Keon and Derritt, you really want to cash in on the free throws, because they're exactly that, free.
He hit 63% of his 2-point shots, so he's probably out on the break shooting a lot of lay-ins.
Yes.
Timmy Long gets caught in between.
Big turnover. You know, they missed the free throw. They end up getting the ball back on the out of bounds, and then they turn it over. And
you know, in addition to Jeffersonville, Henderson County, but Jeffersonville, this is probably the best team they've faced in terms of the that matches up with Bosse in terms of their quickness.
Christian County's a very good team, and you know, here in Indiana, we don't get a chance to see a lot of the Kentucky teams other than Henderson or something like that, but Christian County's got some pretty good basketball. Nice shot fake.
Well,
Look at that move.
Just right down the lane. Wow. That is as good a play as we've seen all day. Nice just shot fake. And Davey just took it from him.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Parker gets hammered underneath. And Davey came right out of his shoe down here.
He just literally stuck his hand out and stripped the ball.
He blew a shoe. Here it is again, and Parker will just get hammered. Busse got it into him.
Parker's been making a living underneath, too.
Yeah, our final break here as we head to the final 3.5 minutes of the game. 78-71, Christian County on top.
The Charity Countdown Challenge is going on now at Riverbend Chevy Old.
And Temple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury to see who can sell the most vehicles before the ball drops.
And to see who can donate the most to the Tri-State Food Bank. The big green dot means extra cash savings at Riverbend.
Temple Wolf has special year-end pricing on every new model in stock.
Who will win the Countdown Cup?
Who can offer you the best savings?
Riverbend Seville.
No, it's Dental Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Highway 41 North in Henderson.
You've waited a long time for this one. Value City Furniture's lowest prices of the year. Save hundreds on a luxurious 3-piece all-leather living room, just $1,388. This 5-piece solid pine bedroom is only $888. Save hundreds on this entire 7-piece living room, just $788. Or get the lowest price ever on this solid oak wall bed, only $588. Get the lowest prices of the year on beautiful home furnishings, but you better hurry in before the calendar runs out.
When we decided that we would try to put on the NBC 14 Hoops Classic, we knew how to promote an event. We didn't know anything about putting on a basketball game. So Jenny Whitmer is with a guy that did a lot of the legwork in that. She is with John Abbey.
Like you said, this is John Abbey, and he's the athletic director of Bosse High School. Now, I understand that he also had something to do with helping put on the Hoops Classic. Tell me what you did.
Well, just with a good team effort from the other ADs in Evansville, we're used to hosting tournaments here at the stadium, so we were happy to use what expertise we had to put the thing together as far as the basketball part went and let the experts in the television, NBC 14, do their part.
What do you think about the game?
It's been great so far. We hope the Bulldogs pull through. It's been a great tournament. We appreciate the efforts of NBC 14.
Great. Thanks a lot, John. Back to you guys.
I tell you what, you cannot believe the number of man hours John Abbey put into this thing. Like I said, we knew nothing about putting on basketball games. He and Ron Wanamueller at Evansville Memorial, along with the rest of the athletic directors, and Michael Madriaga, who oversees all of athletics at the EBSC. We met many times with those folks, and they have really helped us out. And today's event, I cannot tell you how happy we are here at NBC 14, how well it has gone today.
And you know, being a former coach, how much time you have to put in extracurricular to make it all work.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been an athletic director as well at Washington Catholic, and believe me, the time is unbelievable. But it's great, and I think it starts with the top in the school administration. Mike Madriaga keeps those athletic directors going, and they're all pitching in and helping one another, and that's super.
We will no doubt, in the years to come, have other Evansville schools in here. And other athletic directors will be called upon to do the work that John Abbey did, and we appreciate his efforts, and I'm sure that others will be called upon in the future.
Well, guys, you know, a question that's coming down the road here with 2:59 left and a tight game at 80-71, when we have to pick a player of the game, I don't know where we're going to be going, especially if Christian County stays on top here. But you guys, I'm going to hold to my picks. I'm not going to say it yet, but I'm going to hold tight. You guys are going to have to beat me up to get me to change.
I think he's at the free throw line.
He's there.
Man, I'm telling you what, really outstanding performance by those two guys. I mean, it's been a good team effort for Christian County, but those two guys certainly have sparkled today. 81-71. I said it might take 90 points to win this, and boy, it may.
You're going to be close. You're the prognosticator.
I'm guaranteeing you, if somebody scores 90, they'll win it. How about that?
Okay.
Hodge kicks it back outside to Darren, who's left open. And, boy, I'm telling you what, a great check out that time by Fussell. He had Myron Hodge up in about the third row.
And, you know, we probably haven't seen a lot of those blockouts. But, you know, if you're going to do it, this is the time. The unfortunate thing, Christian County throws the ball away.
Hodge steps out. Can he hit another three? Yes, he does. Boy, Myron Hodge is really putting on a performance here.
He says, Mr. Webster, we are not finished yet.
Not yet.
16 points for Hodge, and I believe that doubles his average coming in if our stats were correct.
You know, if you want one of those players to step up when it becomes prime time, this is as prime as it gets in the stadium against a good team in a classic.
And to have a sophomore do it makes you feel even better.
Christian County running a little clock now.
They've gone back to their little shuffle, their little delay that they run. They're going to force ball. Oh, great backdoor cut. Beautiful.
Gives it to Owen, who misses the easy one, and then, no, here comes Williams. Timmy Long to Adam Williams, and it's no good, and here come the Colonels. Davey is wide open down here, and he decides to pull it out. Boy, is that a senior smart.
Very good move by Davey. Pull it out, use the clock. You got plenty of points here. Let's get to the free throw line and get some easy pass. Oh, beautiful pass.
He's the only two-year letter winner on the team. And I don't know that there's anybody They've got a foul. I don't know that there's anybody in the Classic that can handle that kid one-on-one.
No, he sees so much. He sees everything. His peripheral vision has to be outstanding. Just an excellent passer. He just hit Owen underneath. Owen decided not to shoot and kick it back out, but I don't know how he saw him. He just doesn't. I've really been impressed just watching him pass the ball.
Bosse calls for a timeout. We'll stay here. 82-74. We've got 89 seconds left in this one. The Bulldogs trail it by 8. Bosse is a school of 900. Christian County, 1,400. So a couple of fairly big schools. We played a couple of small schools earlier in Pike Central and North Posey. And if you're just joining us, that one's game this morning. Pike Central jumped out to a 13-point lead. They won it by 13, 72-59. And then game 2 was kind of a wild one. Mount Vernon out of Illinois jumped out to a 16-point lead, only to have Memorial come back and take the lead, and kind of a seesaw affair down the stretch. And Mount Vernon pulled it out behind 30 points from Kent Williams. Clint Keon so far has the Classic record for points with 32.
Not too bad in the first year. These are big free throws here. I really think if Davey can put these in, it's going to be tough for Bosse. Although Bosse does have the ability to make the run in a minute 29. It's going to be difficult. They haven't shot the ball well from the outside other than Hodge.
Davey, you want your point guard to be able to hit those free throws at the end of the game, and he has got 16 points.
You know, I watched Coach Fraser over there. I'm thinking he's just saying, oh, you know, let's hold on here, guys. I got a chance to beat my teachers here.
Yeah. He's looking down there at a whole lot of mentors. Davey hits them both.
Big shots. Nothing but net. Those were pure. Those were pure.
From the outside, Jamal Brown, who's been very quiet. Oh. And Derek picks it up, and he's going to be fouled by Owen.
Well, Myron Hodge got up there, was trying to go for that ball.
I think he hit his chin on the rim.
Couldn't quite. Owen got the rebound, tried to get it out just a little too quickly. And I know Coach Fraser was probably saying, oh, Owen, hold on to it. Because I think that might have done it right there. 10-point lead for Christian County. Now they're quick.
Marcus Bateman was right there. You're right, man. He was right in the passing lane.
Extremely quick.
Hodge with 16, Moffitt with 14 for the Bulldogs.
Moffitt.
Owen with 28 points and Davey 16. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. And who comes up with the steal? The Josh Davey.
My MVP.
Okay, I get it.
Mike left, so we're choosing.
Now Mike's interviewing though.
Yeah, he's trying to get over there. So Mike, make sure you take Davey.
That would definitely, that last steal, that's solidified. He's down there listening to us and laughing.
Now, Mike, don't be switching on us. Make sure you pick ours.
Bonus, gentlemen.
You know, Moffitt for Bosse has really impressed me today. He's scored well. He's done a lot of good things out on the floor. I think it's been a quiet impressiveness, you know, from the standpoint. He hasn't had a tremendous slam or anything huge. I mean, he's just been a good, solid player out there. I really like him.
You know, they've got all the experience at the guard level this year, and the Bulldogs do with Darrett and Long. Next year, it's going to be the inside guys that have all the experience. Moffitt will be a senior, and Hodge will be a junior.
Absolutely. And the other coaches around the area just saying, what's new? You know, just another reloaded Bosse team.
Bosse's also got a freshman over there that's pretty good, too, Damian Jones. Wait till you see this guy play. And he's got a timeout. Brad Fraser on his feet. He's high-fiving. He said, we got a timeout there.
Smart play by Christian County. They're going to end up losing the ball, possibly. So they call the timeout.
Josh Davey will be our player of the game. 16 points, 6 assists, 5 of 9 field goals. The assists we're not sure about. We're still giving our statistician a hard time over the assist.
He's done a great job. He absolutely has. It just seems like every time we turn around, Davey's giving up a ball to somebody for a basket.
Well, we kind of threw him for a loop because we told him that the Bulldogs were going to be the home team, so we kind of messed his computer program up in the first half because Bosse ended up being the visiting team.
He has done an excellent job on those stats down there.
Roy Pickrell from Kentucky Wesleyan, we appreciate it. Of course, he's a many-time winner of publications for the Sports Information Directors at Honor for Basketball Media Guys. His is the best, second to none.
We probably shouldn't be questioning him, should we?
Absolutely not.
We got another game left. We don't want to get mad walking out on him.
He's got more national championship rings than either one of us, so.
Davy's going to handle this pressure. It's going to be, yeah, they're not going to get that ball from him. He just does a great job of changing directions and keeping his balance. That's his free throws the rest of the way.
I don't know how you get it away from Davies. I mean, we thought we saw some quick kids in Keon and Kent Williams the last game.
Oh,
if there's a quicker one in game 4.
He's quick, and what is so difficult, he's so low to the ground.
Yeah.
You would have to come in, knock him over, and then take the ball from him. That's the only way you're going to get it from him.
It goes back to the free throw line where he's been terrific today. Nothing but net. He's now 7 of 9. And the team is 19 of 29. So if there's a stat where you could say, where did Christian County win at 19 of 29 from the free throw line?
Absolutely. Did a great job on it. And, you know, Bosse just, there were some times where Bosse really needed the ball off the backboard and couldn't get it. And Christian County just, two teams in transition, they were just the better of the two today. We don't know what it would be next week, but today they're the better of the two. He gets the ball out of trouble here.
Yeah, and then who's he give it to?
I think Mr. Owen wanted to be a little bit more like Mr. Davey there.
Uh-oh. Parker goes up, and he gets the slam dunk.
Exclamation point.
That's going to do it. 90-74, and the final score will not be indicative of how close this game was.
No, up until about 3 minutes to go, this game was nip and tuck, and you were right. 90 points would win this thing.
I am a prognosticator aficionado, aren't
The fear of Evansville.
Well, you figure a high school game, if somebody gets 90, that's a pretty good bet, don't you think?
Dean Webster's psychic line.
Dionne Warwick doesn't have anything over me, does she?
1-900 Dino.
That's going to be a tough one for the Bulldogs to swallow. I mean, they were right there. It was 72-66 at one point. So it's been an 18-8 run here in the last, about 5.5 minutes of the game.
The non-Indiana teams have come in and played very well.
They have played well.
Vernon of Illinois came in and got them a nice win in a hard-fought battle over Evansville Memorial. And now Christian County has come in and played very well against a very, very good Bosse team that...
You might not want to mention that to Gene Miller. Vincennes will be playing Bloomington South, a team from outside of the area.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a great game to wrap this classic up, and it should be, because it's been a great... Channel 14 has done such a wonderful job with the help of the others around and put together this great class. It's super that we have such a good game to finish it up with.
We have had some terrific basketball, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Boy, if you haven't, Todd Richards will have a complete recap for you tonight on a special edition of Hoops There It Is tonight on Newswatch at 10. And then right after the Hoops Classic tonight, join our Newswatch team for Newswatch at 6, providing we get our games done before then. We are going to be done well before that, though.
Yeah, the games have went well. I think the officials have done such a good job of adjusting to the play, and that is a compliment. Sometimes officials try to make the teams adjust to them, and that's not how basketball should be played. Good officials adjust to the teams out on the court, and we've had good officials today.
We have had very good officiating. There is the buzzer, 90-75. We'll be back to talk to the player of the game and give you some final thoughts about this one right after this.
You're watching the NBC 14 Hoops Classic, brought to you by Citizens Bank, Temple Ford, and WFIE NBC 14.
The Charity Countdown Challenge Challenge is going on now at Riverbend Chevy Old.
And Temple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury to see who can sell the most vehicles before the ball drops.
And to see who can donate the most to the Tri-State Food Bank. The big green dot means extra cash savings at Riverbend.
Temple Wolf has special year-end pricing on every new model in stock.
Who will win the Countdown Cup?
Who can offer you the best savings?
Riverbend Chevy Old.
No, it's Temple Wolf Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Highway 41 North in Henderson.
Business is our work. We know manufacturing, service, wholesale, and retail. And we understand where your business fits in. You know how it works, and we can work together to keep it working. What's it take to be your community's leading business partner? Believing that our business is built on believing in yours. It's clear to us that your success is our success.
Here's to the life of your business. From your Bank for Life, Old National.
Benjamin Bosse High School has a long and storied tradition. Just as the man it was named for, Bosse has been a leader in the Evansville school community. The Media Center puts the world at students' fingertips. The world of science comes alive for these Bosse students in their new science wing. Pride in their academic achievements carries over to their tradition as a sports powerhouse. NBC 14 salutes the Bulldogs of Bosse High School, proud participants in this year's NBC 14 Hoops Classic.
I thought it was pretty impressive that Channel 14 was, got this program going and was the first ones to get it going with the Storm Team Spotters. It showed that they're really interested in the community and want to get the community involved and also create a better weather system so they can warn some people.
The Storm Team Spotter Network, another innovation from NBC 14, the Tri-State's news leader.
$90-75, Christian County is a winner, and with the player of the game and the winning coach, let's go courtside to Mike Blake. Mike?
Thanks very much, Dean. What a performance by the Colonels and our player of the game, Josh Davey. But first, the coach, Brad Fraser. What a homecoming for the former North basketball standout and Bosse assistant coach. Brad, congratulations. I'm amazed you still got your voice.
Well, believe it or not, this is how I coach every game, and I just try not to talk too much between each game.
Listen, what was the game plan? And obviously it worked. But what did you try to do?
Well, what we're trying to do is trying to keep the ball out of Derek's hands. Not Derek, but Long's hands the whole game, trying to face guard him and try and make somebody else beat us. We want to play behind them in the post because we felt like they were such good rebounders that we'd have better position on the boards if we did that, and just try and get back against a very athletic team like Bosse.
Listen, you're very athletic too. Is this the best you've played this year?
I think Bosse is the best team we played, and this was our best game of the year this year. But I think we've been working towards this game. Every game we've gotten a little better, and maybe by tournament we'll be a halfway decent basketball team.
Well, as Coach Brad Fraser knows, they couldn't have done it without this guy. There were a lot of talents. Josh Davey, congratulations, young man. What do you pattern your game after? Where did you learn to see the floor so well and pass so beautifully?
Well, that's just something I've been doing since I've been coming up playing basketball, so I just seen the floor the best way I could.
Listen, what do you try to do? It's kind of nice to feed into Mr. Oldham, isn't it?
Yes, sir. They get a lot of points for me and get my assist ratio up. And I'm trying to get the all-time assist leader in the state. So.
In your career, Josh, you've played in a lot of good arenas. Is this a nice place to play? Have you enjoyed this?
This is the best thing I done played since. I ain't made it to Rupp Arena yet, so this is the best thing I done played in so far.
You want to further your career?
Yes, sir.
Are some schools looking at you, I would think?
I hope so.
I would hope so too. Josh Davey, what a tremendous talent. What a great credit to beating an outstanding Bosse team, Dean. Again, 90-75. A great homecoming for Brad Fraser. Christian County a winner here. Coach and player of the game, Dean.
All right, Josh Davey with 18.6 rebounds. His play kind of overshadowed a great performance by Jason Owen.
Jason Owen had a great game, but he was the recipient of so much of what Josh Davey did that it was really difficult to choose Jason over Josh. And taking nothing away from Jason because he had to finish the play. But, boy, did Josh create things or what?
He certainly did. I'll tell you what, we'll come back, talk a little bit more about this game, have more festivities. One game left, folks, as Bloomington South will take on Vincennes Lincoln. The NBC 14 Hoops Classic continues right after this.
Looks like somebody missed the Shoe Carnival half-price sale.